everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my Mega Man X Legacy Collection perspective. Now, you're probably like, okay, what the fuck's going on with your thumbnail, man? Why didn't you like this? Okay, well, it is done in a different kind of manner than the classic one, where in the classic one you can have certain kind of checkpoints. This really kind of doesn't. Like, you have to finish out through certain kind of levels, and you have to do the whole final one in one shot. So how it was done was, in my opinion, worse, and made more friction for me of like, oh, okay, if you're doing this kind of classic style, that's more in line of what's kind of going on. But I had to do shit over and over again, and if I left my controller, the damn thing would lock up, and I couldn't do anything, and I'd have to, well, the computer wouldn't lock up, but I wouldn't be able to use my keyboard or my controller to do anything. So if you had to take a break for a little bit, not even like a long bit, it was like, oh, okay, that kind of fucked me over and had to redo a couple of things. And I had kind of played certain of these on PC long ago when I got it on like disc, but the thing is, I never really understood what was kind of going on with this series, and I just got frustrated and was just like, but not like super frustrated. Going through this, I'm like, holy fucking shit, I don't like this. I don't like this series. I like the classic better. Now, that's mainly because of design decisions that pretty much come into the effect, like the friction and everything with this new collection versus what was going on in the kind of collection for the classic ones. However, on paper, most of the things should work into my realm of expertise. I like Metroid kind of stuff, and this, you're kind of going around, and you need to like pick up certain things, get up hearts and upgrades and all that kind of stuff. That goes throughout most of the 1, 2, 3, and 4. However, it kind of screws you on how you do the bosses, so if you're attempting to try and do the bosses and you kind of want to have a better kind of shot at them because you're gimped as fuck in the beginning, you kind of have to go around to like each different kind of level, find the easiest kind of fucking collectible thing like hearts, sub-tanks, and that's another thing. You only get 4 sub-tanks in most kind of realms. However, in the 4th one, you get like 2. So, good on you with that. Which follows into the realm of like what goes on in the final bosses. Oh god, the final bosses. We'll get to them. We'll get to them. But trying to figure out which boss to go for first is really kind of fuckity-doo-dah. You try and like look up certain kind of walkthroughs and figure out which is the kind of easiest one to take out versus the weakness weapon, and then when you do get the weakness weapons for them, it kind of becomes an easier kind of realm to kind of go through, which doesn't really set you up very well for the end boss that usually doesn't have a weakness, or the weakness is just using the buster and wall climbing and doing weird ass shit on that kind of realm. It's like, oh, okay. Only one part in the 3rd one that I found a weird kind of strategy that worked for me versus what was kind of going on for other ones. It was kind of a variation on it, but it was like, alright, what the fuck's kind of going on here? So, it is set like 100 or so years after the Mega Man Classic. There are more kind of story elements. Maverick Hunters, we get Zero introduced as Wily creation, but he's like, eat my ass, motherfucker. It doesn't really matter too much, and it really gets kind of weirder as it goes farther along because you fight Sigma pretty much all of the time. Now, I know that kind of works within the realm of Wily. However, in the classic series, it's more of like the Saturday morning cartoon of Wily, we stopped you, we put you in here, and you come the fuck back out again, so let's, like, crack your ass. Sigma, it just gets kind of annoying, and especially kind of, like, weird on what they're attempting to do story-wise. It's like, alright, you're trying to figure out what's going on with the Reploids, and what's going on with these, beans and everything, so you're, like, the artificial free will, all that kind of stuff is like, yeah, okay, that's just getting in the way, so let's just, like, make a cool-ass, like, Blizzard Buffalo kind of motherfucker so you can, like, beat wholesale ass and then get their weakness weapon and go for the other ones. And that's the thing. Like, it isn't just that the weak... Like, in, like, classic Mega Man, the weakness weapon helps you a lot as well. However, in this, it almost kind of trivializes certain kind of fights to the point of... It kind of breaks them. Now, I don't mind getting an advantage of being an OP motherfucker, but it's like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? Which is an important thing, because you fight all these bosses, and then you get to Sigma, and you're not trained to effectively fight them unless you actively try to engage with the systems that you have just pretty much been, like, incentivized not to engage with. If that makes sense. I.e., okay, you need to know how to do your wall jumps, your dashes, how you can utilize more of your non-weakness inducing abilities, and how you move around the environment, and how you take on the bosses. You try and then set that up at the end that you need to utilize that stuff, where I have been incentivized throughout the whole game to find the weakness weapon and fucking auto-nuke this motherfucker. And then I'm fighting Sigma, and I'm like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? And then it's not even that easy to try and figure out what the kind of weakness is. For, like, the first 2 games, 3 games, you can find, like, this auto-kill move. Like, the Hadouken, that works because Capcom Street Fighter, the Shuriken in 2, and then Z-Saber in 3. However, you get the worst the bad ending if you get the Z-Saber, which kind of left me into a lurch because I was like, I don't want to get the bad ending. And then, holy fucking shitballs, Batman, because I used them to get through those motherfuckers without using any tanks, energy tanks, sub-tanks, because, like, he had, like, one kind of cat thing, and I'm like, Hadouken, motherfucker. Or is that the Shuriken one? There was, like, 3 kind of things that I had to kind of go for, and I, like, Hadouken, like, Sigma on that, and then I figured out what was kind of going on with the other one, where it was just pretty much an immovable... The final one for that one, I'm like, okay, this works. You're trying to figure out what's going on. However, if you get killed, you get knocked back, and you have to go through all of the different kind of stuff again. It's got more of a difficulty curve than the classic one, because you then have to go through, and sometimes it's not as fast as what was kind of going on, like going through certain kind of wily ones. It's like, alright, even if I get cracked on stage 2 of his fight, stage 1 isn't that hard after you get to a certain point. You just have to execute it well enough to get to that kind of point. And you can say the same thing for this one, but usually you don't have as many E-tanks, and trying to refill them, you're like, shit, you have to do weird-ass shit because you can't leave, you can't kind of retool what's kind of going on. It's like, okay, and you're stuck here, and if you get out of your lives and you can't continue, and you have to do it, like, another time, you gotta go through all of those end levels again, and the boss rush. Second one was kind of weird, because that was, I could do the Shuriken, I took out his one thing, took out the other one, and then you just fought like this giant kind of computer head, and most of them, I didn't really care that much of the boss designs. It's like, alright, fine, cool. Getting through the kind of lava level or whatnot was kind of like a fuckity-doo, the Flame Stag one. Trying to get that heart was like, somebody was a fucking asshole going for that. Now, part of the reason I think I had such a tough time was that certain weird shit I noticed was potentially going on with my controller, especially with the A button, which is what I use for the jump. So there were certain things that happened that I'm not going to completely attribute to the game. My controller could have been doing some weird shit. However, I've also heard that there's different kind of input shit with this one versus like the original one, so that could also be a thing that's kind of going on and dealing with my frustration of trying to get certain things and trying to execute things. It's also like, oh my god. And the second, like the last one, is just this computer head, but it's really kind of cool because he poops out fucking ads that you can get like energy, health, all that kind of stuff. It's like, alright, that's cool. You don't really get that on any kind of other one. The third one. Yeah, there were most of the bosses I really didn't like too much, or that I really had like an affinity one. The Blizzard Buffalo and the Hornet motherfucker I vividly remember because of being a kid, and also fighting the kind of one that had the rocks kind of going through it, because I had to shoot them and everything. It's like, okay, now understanding what was going on of trying to port this motherfucker from controller to keyboard, then it's probably like, alright, that's probably why I was kind of fucked up, trying to figure out what was going on as a kid on the PC with that, versus being able to now connect stuff with controllers and everything here. The third one, oh my god, that I had to look up weird shit and make sure that I didn't accidentally kill Zero with what was kind of going on, to get his Z-Saber, because I wanted to have the good one where he didn't die. Which led me to getting kind of fucked over on certain kind of things, because you go through, you can kind of build your stuff kind of back up a little bit more easily. There was a certain kind of level where you could get, not in this third one, or was it in this third one? I played them all, and they kind of like run together, except for 4. That one, we'll get to that one. Where you like go through and you have to bounce around and make sure you watch out for his Captain America fucking shielding going on. And it's like, alright, I'm utilizing like this split thing kind of going, and instead of doing the yo-yo, I'm just like bouncing up above his head and fucking like bottom one hit him, bottom one hit him. Then we get Sigma Kaiser, or Kaiser Sigma. Big, stompy, beefy fuckboy. Asshole supreme, fuckity-doodah. Now, I was watching this one video to try and see how to pretty much hit him from the front and the back. His hitbox for his head is fucking stupid. And the funny fucking thing is, I'm trying to figure out how to kind of fucking aim for him, and I get on this random fucking Reddit post where it's like, oh, aim between the 2 brown bits. It's like, what? And I changed up my style where instead of trying to hit the back of his fucking head, I just dodged the stuff so that way I didn't get fucking hit. And then go, and because he's like blasting laser beams, taking up like a lot of this, the fucking screen, shooting mines at your ass, shooting missiles at your ass. And then I was like, shoot the, because you would think, oh, aim for his head. And it's like, nah, he's got fucking giant shoulder pad things too. And it's like, brown bits. And then I looked at it, and I was like, motherfucker. And this was a one where I was thinking, okay, I'll probably die here, because I'd pretty much gone through all of the rest of my sub-tanks at this point. But I was able to get him down. Luckily enough, the lava flow at the end didn't fucking kill me, and seeing people talk about that, I'm like, yeah, that's a dick design move there, because you're like trying to jump around, and then I got to a point where I was like, oh fuck, and the fucking virus head's like, I'm gonna block your ass, I'm gonna block your ass. It's like, fuck you. I was able to get up top and go out, but anybody that got killed on that lava and you're pissed off, yes, you should be pissed off, because that's bullshit. Okay? That's not good design. That's like, okay, I'm going through all this stuff. You think I'm gonna have more health at the end of this fucker? It's like, then you're just gonna send my ass back to the beginning and have to fight him fight his first phase, fight his second phase. What the fuck, motherfucker? Ugh. And then 4. Oh my god. Now we get full motion video and like voice acting and shit. It's like, okay. Now this story at least had some promise, where Sigma was pretty much being like, yes, these are the Repliforce. And, he's pretty much trying to force them in a situation to fight the Maverick Hunters because he's a dick. That was more interesting. We also got this Magma Dragoon dude that could do the Hadouken and the Shuriken, but you can't. This one was a little bit better. It kind of went a little bit wonky-doo-dah, wonky-day on what it was attempting to do with certain shit. But don't worry, I'm going to hit the Legacy one, too, for another fucking thing. It's like, oh, I'm having a better time. And then I get to Mega Man 8. Yeah, I look forward to that, motherfucker. But it's just like, okay. Certain weird ones trying to get certain things, but not as much kind of bullshit as like the other ones. Yeah, trying to get the fucking bike to actually do certain kind of shit. But once I was like, hey, my A button might be fucking me over on things, or input lag. I don't know which one at this point, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I hit fucking A. And yeah, I'm an old crusty little shitbag, but I'm pretty sure I can fucking tap A like I ain't a motherfucker, because I've muscle memoried this fucking shit from any kind of other game. 4's final boss is like, oh god. Again, it comes down to the design decisions. Thing is, you don't have 2 of the sub-tanks that you have, but the thing is, Sigma's first phase is easy as shit, but the thing is, it's just a time pad at this point. Then you got him tossing shit around and everything. It's like, alright, cool, it's trying to get pretty much to the point where you keep your sub-tanks working well enough. You kind of have an idea of what his weakness is, and at least it kind of plays into it a little bit more rather than just completely and utterly doing the Buster. This one, you have to, not have to, but one of the best ones is to kind of use the Plasma one. That I kind of needed to use at the 3rd phase. The 3rd phase, God, it stymied me for a little bit, where his face is on one gunner thing, and then his face pops up and does a sucking and a blowing thing, and then there's other heads that pop up, and it's just so much shit kind of going on. It's almost like they took the 3rd one where it's like, we will put big beefy boy, and that would be the only thing you deal with, to here's the 3rd phase, and it's all these heads doing all these different things, shooting lightning balls at you, electrifying the floor, fucking snow barfing motherfucker. And then we're going to have it where he's either going to try and blow you to some spikes to fuck your ass up, or he's going to try and suck a lot of shit in and blow your ass up. So you have to technically do 2 bar health things. One for fucking dude that's got a gun that can blast shit, kind of like Kaiser Sigma, where it's going to be like taking out a good chunk, so you got to figure out where it kind of hits. Unless he decides, I'm going to do your doom, and pretty much blast the fucking shit on the floor, so you have to fucking wall jump to fucking shoot your thing that can like sit long enough on him to do damage over time. God. And then if you fuck up and you need your sub-tanks again, I had to do this stupid fucking thing where I kept doing continues, where there's health in the beginning of the thing. Because here's the thing, you buck the fuck out of there, you gotta start at the beginning again, motherfucker, because fuck you. So, instead, I abused the continue system where if I fucked up a run, normally at the 3rd phase, and I didn't have any sub-tags left, I would just then, there's some health that's at the beginning. I would pick it up and have the fucking 1st phase kill me and continue until I got that up and running. And then I just was able to get a lucky run and took out the gunner one first, and then pretty much tried to force whatever was going on with Barfy McFucking Blowface going on, who really, it just took a longer time, because I don't know if it was like the health or the damage or how long it would take, and I'm just like, let him die, man. The other one didn't take this much fucking this much time to fucking die. What the fuck, man? And then I'm like, is there gonna be another fucking lava thing? I'm still looking at like walkthroughs to kind of help my ass out. It's just like, Urgh. Now, I don't mind this if you like these games. Now, since I'm not playing them in the original, that definitely changes some shit up. I mean, the save system worked well enough that you don't have to remember the passwords. However, I was even taking pictures of the passwords because I'm like, I went through too much shit to fucking get this done. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can just hit load and I'll be fine. Okay. But the friction's there. If there was more of the kind of checkpoint stuff going on, where there was a checkpoint system like in the classic ones, which is odd enough that they didn't implement here, because normally it would take longer to get through certain kind of levels. Unless they're like, these levels are so short. Like, I would think that certain kind of ones in the classic, it's like, those are pretty fucking short. I don't know why we've got them here, but it fucking helps out. I didn't have as much fun trying to figure out how to get through each kind of level, how to get the upgrades and all that. I needed to get the upgrades so that way I didn't get my shit kicked in constantly. And then trying to actually get through the final bosses. I don't know what I would have done without the like Hadouken and the Shuriken for the first two, and I feel that I pretty much almost got lucky on the run that I was doing with the Kaiser Sigma motherfucker. Same with fucking all of the gun face fuck in the fourth one. Fourth one was just odd. It was kind of the one that had the like the full motion video. You had more kind of going on in each kind of stage. You had certain kind of ride armors and certain ones that would kind of help out. However, since I didn't go after certain kind of things, I had to do some weird shit because one video that I was watching went through and like kicked all of these other kind of robots' asses, going for like the kind of bad ending to get the Z-Saber. And I was like, okay, I have to change up a little bit of what's kind of going on here, but not to a gigantic degree. It's really kind of funny. I thought that this would probably work out for me and probably hit for me, but I just did not like interacting with the game. It was more of a like, okay, I had this, I can now beat this, but there was no fun to be had here. It was just more relief of like, these fucking things are done, and I will play them no more. And I'm not going for like the second collection and nothing else on the X series. It just isn't for me, even though it should be. Classic Mega Man, evidently enough, is where I'm at. It's just, I like his little sprite and everything like that, and what kind of goes on. Even though I will come in with like E-tanks or whatnot, normally I am put on a level playing field with the boss. If I'm good at what I'm doing, I've got the same amount of health that that boss has, and it just clicks more with me. And it's like, okay, when I've got the weakness weapons, it makes it easier, but not to the point of like triviality. I still understand and have to execute on what's going on with Mega Man. And if I am screwed up and I don't have the weapons, I'm pretty confident that I can take the motherfucker down with the busters. I mean, I could do the same thing in the X series, however, it vastly depends upon how long of a time that kind of goes, and also depending on the upgrades. Here, it's just like, blah, 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 blah. And then same with Wily. It's like, okay, normally it's kind of variations on the same kind of thing. He's coming in like a damn asshole, teleporting in and out. But it's just like, okay, Sigma has some changes and stuff, but sticks to certain kind of, it's weird. Like, there's enough kind of changings to give a kind of variability, but it's always like, oh god, this is gonna take for fucking ever. And it's just like, sure, it's a challenge, but I just felt relief of like, I don't have to play this anymore. And I know that's not what, and I don't mind if you're a fan of the series and love this and think it's like, they're like the best games ever. That's cool. That's awesome. And again, I don't want to take any of that from anybody or shit on anybody for anything like that. That's not the point of these perspectives and these reviews that I do. It's mainly like, okay, this is what happened to me, and to see if like there's any kind of what anybody else kind of has any thoughts on, and just to also kind of like get them in perspective for me, because sometimes I'll be sitting here and I have a general idea of what I'm gonna go for, but then sometimes something pops out of nowhere and I'm like, huh, and then it completely shifts how I kind of viewed what was going on. Yeah. Now, I don't know if I'd recommend these or just say go and find the originals if you can, to kind of play with them. I'm not that well versed in like in the whole input lag for what kind of goes on for these. Now I played it on PC, so whatever kind of things go on, that's kind of what goes on. There's no kind of weird, except for that whole thing where like if I left it for even not really a long amount of time, my controller would just be like, I can't do this anymore. Okay, can I use keyboard and mouse? No, motherfucker, eat shit. Well, I don't know what I did for this reaction, but other than that, no issues of like crashing or doing strange fucking shit. But if you want a modern kind of one to kind of be able to do it and play it, go for that. Look for your platform of choice. Yeah, but they're 90s games. And these ones will be like, I'm coming for your ass. So when those people are like, hey, it's not Dark Souls, depending upon your skill level for this shit, it could be your Dark Souls. So take with that as you may. So those are my opinions on the collection. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you like it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.